Runners only with Dime Harvey.
Sitting here in an office at the back of his gym, it's Shane Cameron, the boxer. Morning, mate.
Morning, brother.
Morning.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, bloody good to see you. Bloody good to see you. I'll tell you what, something that cracked me up about you. You and me, we sort of know each other, I suppose, reasonably well through interviews over the years with boxing and Dancing with the Stars and whatever.
Yeah.
I flicked. You've got no idea what my podcast is about, do you?
No.
So I just messaged you and you said yes. No extra questions. No, what's it about? What's the angle?
No.
Okay, so the podcast is called Runners Only with Dom Harvey.
Okay, yeah.
And it's
right.
because I'm passionate about my running.
You are. I know
so it's
that.
it's sort of got a running theme to it, and I don't know what your relationship with running is like now, but I'm guessing as a professional boxer, it's definitely like part of your makeup as part of training for that.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Getting nice and close to them.
With the boxing and with the running, it's. And I was a bit heavier too when I was boxing. I was sort of around 105 kilos, so I used to always struggle with shin splints and stuff like that.
Right.
And you just got to push through, and it is what it is. So I never really liked the running, because all I could just imagine was shin splints every day I run, Or I used to love doing, I do change it, otherwise I do sprints, wind sprints and stuff like that, But you just had to be done because really the running, obviously you got the wind sprints, that's really good for your, so your anaerobic threshold is, so to speak, and then you got your aerobic running, which is, well, for me, running 5 to 10 Ks is a big run for me, being at that way. But now I do a lot more running now.
You do?
I'm a bit lighter.
Yeah.
I'm a bit lighter, and I don't mind just, like I say, I'm not a bloody running like you, man. So 5Ks, I'm pretty happy with a 5K run, and I don't get any shin splints, and I'm happy, But it's just good for your head. I do a lot of thinking when I'm running, to be honest, mate. I think, my brain doesn't stop anyway, but it's just good when I run and I think about things. I go, man, that'd be good to talk about this, because I'm doing my little yarns and stuff like that with my cook-ups at home and just all sorts, think about the business and what I want to do and what I want to create and, there's so many benefits for me for running too.
Oh yeah, clears the head. I bang on about the mental health benefits as much as the physical. It's really, really good for that. And so much of you mentioned there we want to talk about because I find what you've done post boxing inspirational. Like you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur. You've got your gym, Shane Cameron Gym, which is a ballsy move, setting up your own gym, especially when there's like a gym on every corner in Auckland. And you've got your Counterpunch label, which does boxing gear and things.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of boxers, they end the game and they don't do smart stuff with their money, but it seems like you're doing okay.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. It's like I'm one of those guys, and it probably hinders me sometimes because I'm never content. I'm never happy, in some ways. But at the same time, I'm a driver. I know if I know what I'm after. I know where I want to get to. I do whatever it takes to get there. And like you pointed out, I've got the gym. I've had the gym for a while now, and gyms, like I say, gyms are like dairies. They're on every corner. So
yeah, and you're up against. There's one just over the road from where you are, like a Snap Fitness or a Jets or whatever it is.
That's right. Yeah,
you're up against those franchises.
So up against it exactly. So but hey. Been in the game for a long time anyway, so we know what we're up against. Counterpunch, the boxing product, that's something that I started up probably about 5 years ago. And off Counterpunch, then I run Counterpunch coaching courses, which are accredited coaching courses that I designed up. Obviously my background in boxing and coaching and understanding that, and I really enjoy that. I travel around the country with delivering that course, so I can pass people or fail people based on their ability. But it's around growing the sport in terms of the knowledge. I always say knowledge is power. So the more knowledgeable you are as a personal trainer, because those are the people that I'm targeting, personal trainers that want to understand how to hold pads and different combinations that flow that don't. There's combinations that don't work and just everything from the footwork and the knowledge that I've learned over the years. Yeah. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a little bit, been in the game. So I do love that aspect of the coaching side, so, I've got so many bloody things on, sometimes that are too many, but anyway, I've just launched, my app, Counterpunch Fitness app. So, that was launched just before Christmas and, Yeah. It's like this interview is just me just talking about the things I got going on. But maybe you just start talking.
No, that's right. No, but it seems to me like even though it's completely different skills to being a good boxer to being a good businessman, but the drive and I suppose the energy and the passion that you had in sport, you've sort of transferred those skills to outside of the ring.
Yeah. I have. Like I say, with anything you do, you only get. I'm a big believer. I always say this. Always say it. You only get out what you put in.
Right.
You know. So if you only put 5 minutes in, you can't expect to get 20 minutes out. You know, like it's just it is what it is. You know, and I'm pretty real with a lot of the people that I train and want to get results with in terms of health and fitness. You know, have you stuck to your meal plan? Well, clearly, you know, you're not getting the results because you haven't put in the hard work. You know, it's simple. There's no sugarcoating, eh? You know, you either put the work in, you get the results, and you get the results. And that's the same with your boxing or in business. You know, you can't expect to have a thriving business that's going to generate all this money if you don't put any work in, you know? So, simple, you know? Yeah. So, but I tell you what, man, boxing is much easier than running a business. Much easier than running a business. Oh, heck yeah. Take me back to boxing any day.
All right, listen, there's so much I want to unpack with you. There's so much to chat about. First of all, like what sports did you play growing up? When I grew up in a little place called Tiniroto, which is 50-minute drive inland from Gisborne. Country town. Mum and dad lived in the country. Dad worked on a few farms. My goals and drives and aspirations from a young boy was to be a shepherd, ride a horse to work every day. And that's what I did. So I left the school, as soon as I turned 15, because you're allowed to leave at 15 at that time. And I had a full-time job, offered a full-time job before, so I knew where I was going. So I worked on a farm just up the road. It was a 7,000 acre farm. I just loved it. Loved everything about it. And I already had 5 sheepdogs. I had 3 horses, and that's all I did. I worked every day from 15, you know, to my work. Love working, love everything. And everything I do, I always want to be the best at it. Yeah.
Whether I become the best at it, it doesn't matter. But like in my head, I want to be the best at it. Yeah, I'm very competitive in that way, you know, and at 15, I want to be the best at everything I did. But without, you know, big shoulders or anything like that. Just, man, I just grind, just said nothing. Very quiet, very observed, but I just did my thing, you know. And then I didn't play, so I played rugby, just nipper at school, and then I went to England. So I worked on 3 sheep stations. Then I was 19. I had a bad run with my sheepdogs, where one had died and another one had nearly died. They must have eaten some rat poison, and that was the turning point. So if you think about turning points in your life, because if that hadn't happened, I would not be here sitting with you talking about my career in boxing. There's no way. I'd still be farming. Because if those dogs hadn't died, I wouldn't have gone, hey, what am I going to England to do an OE? Because I knew about my, you know, people that I knew that went to England to do the OE.
Yeah.
You know, and so within a month, I handed my notice. I said to the boss, I'm going away. I'll be back in 6 months, you know, and I farmed some of my dogs out, and I plan to come back and carry on farming. I'm in England. I'm playing rugby. And I was watching some boxing on TV one day. I go, man, I wouldn't mind giving that sport a go. My grandfather used to box back in the 1920s in Wellington, always inspired by his boxing stories. Talking about another turning point was that, watching a fighter in the UK, Prince Nazim Hamid. I was watching him fight, and I go, man, I want to give that sport a go. So
why did you, because I like watching boxing on TV, but I never think, Tyson Fury looks good, I might give that a go. Why? Like, what makes you think that you'd be good at it?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys, I don't know, deep down, I always thought I was a bit of a tough guy, you know, but I was really quiet, really observed, never spoke to anyone, never spoke, just like thing, but I knew I was tough because I always backed myself. But I never, you know, and saying that the fights I did have was all around alcohol.
Pub brawls.
Yeah, pub brawls, just drunk, you know, I'd never have a fight if I was sober,
right?
You know, but it was just, I just backed myself, and then I always loved listening to my grandfather's boxing stories. So I was watching some boxing on TV, like I said, and then within a few days I found boxing. So my first fight the week of my 20th birthday.
What year was that? When was that?
That was 1998. 1998, yeah. Wow. So
well, you must have been quite good, because it was 2002 that you were at the Commonwealth Games and you won a bronze medal. So 4 years after taking up the sport.
Yeah. That's right.
Is 20 quite a late age to be starting?
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Very. So I trained for 3 months, and then I had my first fight. And then, within a year and a half, I was ranked number 3 in England. And then 2 more years after that, or whatever it was, then I come home to New Zealand to qualify for the Commonwealth Games team. Went back to Manchester once I qualified and won a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games.
That seems like quite a fast apprenticeship to me. Were you naturally good, or did you just like work your ass off in those 4 years?
I think a bit of both.
Right.
But one thing I did do, I worked my ass off. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm all about it. I'm an extras man. You know, like if coach says do this, I'll go, yeah, whatever, I'll do double that.
Right.
You know, so, and I still do that now, you know.
Just always looking for those little marginal gains.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because I started late, and when I started late, so a lot of coaches were going, no, he's a good boy. I can hear them over talking, you know. Oh, he's a good boy, but he won't make it. He started too late. Oh, he's a good boy. He goes right. He's got some good talent, but he started a bit late. I'm thinking in my head, I'll show you what I can do. And that was just like, I went from, like I said, around the drinking. I was drinking in the UK because they love to drink over there. 5-6 nights a week. But socially meet down in the corner for a few drinks, and I went from drinking like 5-6 nights a week to not drinking for 3, 4, 6 months at a time, and just fully focused, just trained every single day. And like I say, from starting the week of my 20th birthday to a year and a half later, ranked number 3 in England, and it just, and even when I get ranked and win titles and stuff like that, I just, there's nothing. I haven't achieved nothing. And then I just keep going like that because I'm never content. Finally get a world title shot. I need to win it. So. And that's the same for me with business. If I have certain goals that I want to hit financially, I hit it, and I'm going to say I'm not happy.
You want more?
Yeah, I don't know why it's bad. In some ways, it's bad because my partner at home just goes, "Man, you're such a bloody drop." Yeah. Sometimes you're a negative bastard. Do
you sometimes take a moment to like pause and reflect on what you've done? Like, I don't know. This is your workplace that I'm in, but I walked in the door for the first time, and there's a boxing ring there, and there's loud music, and there's people doing classes, and your name's up on the wall. And I think, shit, that's pretty cool. I'm sure you had that moment when you opened the doors for the first time, but do you ever walk in and think, I'm doing okay. The kid's done all right.
I don't. I think about the things that need to be done. Other things that need to be done. I'm going, why the fucking hell? Someone didn't bloody clean that, or nah. I'd like to, and I'm not saying no because I want to be some hero or anything like that. It's just like, that's not really in my vocabulary around that. I wish I did, and I need to take a moment, and I'm working on that in terms of personal growth and that, like. Being content with some of the things that I've got, because I've got some cool things going on, and I talk to my partner, and I talk to my brother, and I just go, I need to be happy with what I've got, So that's personal growth stuff and stuff I'm working on now, so never stop learning is one thing.
Absolutely. And so the Commonwealth Games, where's that medal now? Is that something that means a lot to you?
Yes, it does. It means a lot to me. It's framed up. It's at home. It's in a room where there's other stuff in there.
That's
boxing stuff. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So what happened there? Were you? It was 20 years ago, so I can't remember. Were you lucky to get the bronze, or were you unlucky not to get a gold or silver? What happened?
So that's a good story. So my first fight, I fought the Nigerian champ, and then I beat him. I stopped him in round 2. And then the second fight, I fought the Jamaican champ, and I stopped him in round 4. And then I come up against a Canadian in the semi-finals. So by the time I was guaranteed a bronze medal, just because of the way the draw goes, you get 2 bronzes because you get 2 sides of the draw, and then they meet, so you end up having 2 bronze medalists. So
the winner was going to get the silver, and the loser gets the bronze. Is that?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. And there's 2 bronze medalists, and then a silver, and then a bronze. So I was going into the semi-finals. So if I'd have won that, I would have been in the finals. And just the nerves got to me. And I had the same routine. Go into the venue. There was the tape. I had the bloody CD recorder. I had listening to the same music. I'm thinking, because I was new to the sport, so I'm like, I feel really heavy. And until I know back now, I think I was just so nervous.
Yeah,
I was just so nervous. I didn't. Get into the stadium. There's like 10,000 people. I'm thinking, I'm used to fighting around like in a club of like a couple hundred people at my bare best. But anyway, it was just the psychological side got to me on that day, and I just got outboxed, and I just put that in my hat, and it was a massive learning curve. So I never had that moment ever again in my career. Even though I sparred Mike Tyson and fought David Tua and all that. Just like So that was a moment where I was just so nervous, and I was just drained. I don't know if you get nervous before your runs and stuff, where you just can't get going. You're jumping up and down. I was so fit. I'm jumping up and down. I'm throwing a few punches. I'm thinking, why am I getting so tired so early? But anyway, I put that down, just nerves. So just the psychological side of boxing just got to me.
Oh, mate, I am in no way comparing like what I do with essentially fun runs to what you do, because I'm not even at that elite level. But I'll be on the start line for a marathon or a half marathon, and there's been occasions where I'm like, I just want to get in the car and drive home. I don't even want to be here. And then it gets to the end of the run, and you know, whether you get the result you want or not, you feel amazing. But just the nerves and the anxiety, it's a terrible thing. But I would think something like boxing, where it's such a lonely sport, and when all your corner men get out and you're just in there alone with your opponent, that's got to be the most nerve-wracking thing in the world.
But like, if you come back to like when you asked me before, like I back myself. I back myself as a bit of a macho sort of, within the way how I conduct myself. But like, I'm just like, you think you can beat me? Because I get in the ring, I think, you think you can beat me? Hey, how dare you get in the ring and think you can beat me? That's what's going in my head. Yeah, I'll let you know what you're up to.
Is that essential? I feel like you probably need, everyone that goes into a boxing ring probably needs that, right?
Yeah, you need to. I don't know if everyone thinks that, but that's what I think, and you have to. Because if you don't think that, it's going to be a hard night for you. It's going to be a hard night for you. A hard night in a boxing ring is a bit different to a hard day on a marathon course where you might get a cramp. Wow. Okay, so that was 2002. Were you tempted to stick around for another couple of years and maybe go to the Olympics? I was tempted. I was tempted. Because no one around in the Oceania region could beat me, so it was pretty much a given that I'd make the Olympics, 2000 Sydney Olympics. But I was 24. I think, man, my style would suit the pro game a bit better, and I was just like, man, I want to try and make some money. So I went against. So I retired from amateur boxing and turned professional.
Right. Can you remember how much your first paycheck was as a pro?
$400. $400, mate.
You gave up your Olympic dream for $400? Yeah. Wow, and you won that fight, I take it. Yeah. God, what did the lose again?
I don't know.
$50. Jesus. Why so small?
Just what it was, right. You think about, I suppose, you need, behind every good fighter, it's important to have a good team in terms of marketing and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
How the times are now, like, say, for example, if I was signed by, a big-time promoter, I went to, you look at what Parker's done, and he didn't even go to the Commonwealth Games. But it's just he had talent, he got picked up by Duco, and they just blew him up, blew him up. But at the same time, he's got some ability, So it's probably on the other side that's probably what hindered me. So everything I earned, I certainly earned it. From grassroots.
Yeah. So then you turn pro, you get $400 for that first fight, and then it's you're on one hell of a career trajectory. Like you're winning fight after fight. I remember a couple of times there, like you called David Tua out.
Yeah.
Not in a trash talk way, but just in a respectful sort of boxing way, and he just sort of ignored that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I was maybe 16, 17-0 then. I was a fighter in Christchurch. I remember that. They said, we should, we call that David. And I think, because I knew, calling him out and for that fight to actually happen would be a long way down the track.
Yeah.
There was no response from him. So I just carried on doing my thing. And then all of a sudden I was ranked number 6 heavyweight in the world with the WBO. And then it flips around. He calls me out. He called me out because, I was ranked number 6 heavyweight in the world, and obviously he was wanting to make a return back to the ring. So at the time, I needed him to build myself up, and a good, but then it flipped itself around where he needed me more than I needed him, and obviously the talking got going, and then it finally happened.
Yeah. So what year was that? I remember the fight of the century.
The fight of the century, 2009.
2009. Man, that was the hype, the build up. You guys both got $500,000 each.
Yeah.
And how does that work? Because it sounds like a lot of money, but I'm guessing once you pay your trainer fees and whoever else and taxes or whatever. Yeah. What do you actually end up with?
Yeah. Well, not 500 anyway. Not 500, but it's still a good chunk. Yeah. It's still a good chunk. Yeah. But and in 2009 that was a good chunk of dough. And you think about that. One thing I want to say around that fight, there was a big learning thing for me. There was a big learning because I'm a humble dude. I just do my thing, and I got wrapped up in it. I got wrapped up in the hype, wrapped up in the moment. Yeah,
I remember that. So there was a TV show called what was it? Close Up at 7 with Mark Sainsbury.
That's right. Yeah.
And I remember it clearly. And you and David Tua were on there, and it was almost like you'd been prepped to like build up the fight and trash talk each other. And I knew you a little bit, and I knew David a little bit, and I knew it didn't really sit comfortably with either of you two as humans. But were you sort of forced to try and?
I wouldn't say forced, but just put in my head, and like just talk it up, and be good the thing. But I think back now, I think, why the hell did I do that? Because if they had said to me, you talk it up, I'll give you more money, give you more percentage over a certain amount of pay-per-views and stuff. But I just go, I just talk it up, and then started talking it up. Then he started talking back at me, and then all of a sudden it was promoted as strictly business. I remember the poster, strictly business. Then all of a sudden it got personal. Where I regret some of the things that I said and did and conducted. It's just.
Do you like what? Can you remember anything specific?
No, not really. I just think the way I held myself and like at the press conferences, I'm thinking, fuck, I'm not that person. You know, I built up, and then just put so much pressure. I was going to say put pressure on myself, but not really, because on the night, the flip side from being at the Commonwealth Games semi-finals, I was so nervous fighting David Tua, one of the biggest punchers on the globe. I wasn't even nervous. So what does that say? I don't respect the man. I didn't respect the man. Fucking totally respect him, before and after, but just built myself right up, and then I was in this moment, and then I didn't respect him, so I wasn't nervous.
Before that fight, your paths must have crossed, right? Like, were you friends or acquaintances?
Well, mate, we lived together in Las Vegas when I first turned pro.
Right.
So I had my first fight at $400, and then my second fight I fought in Reno and then Lake Tahoe, so in Nevada. So I lived with David in his house. He had a big house in Las Vegas, so we all lived together, for like a year and a half. So. And this is a fight game too in some ways. I still get fucking hammered on. Excuse my language. I still get hammered on social with some obviously his supporters, and just go, oh, you're big mouth, and you're good that you got knocked out. That's
it. Not now. Still. 13 years on
a weekly basis. Right. Yeah, on a weekly basis. I'm doing my top tips, and they go, "You're a bum, mate. Why don't listen to you? You're a bum." I think, oh yeah, I like to say that to me in my face. But it just. I didn't want that result to happen, and I was so confident. But it is what it is. And David's a good man. We've caught up and we've had some tequilas. Yeah. We've had some tequilas since then, and I was just like, shit, you bugger, you got me.
Yeah. Because I'm sure you don't really want to dwell on this, but for anyone that doesn't remember, I didn't remember the full extent of it. I watched it on YouTube yesterday, knowing I was coming to see you today. So the fight starts. Look, you look comfortable. It looks like you're getting a couple of punches in. And then, but he knocks you out in the first round.
Yeah, second
round.
Yeah, so he rocked me in the first round.
Yeah.
So I was moving around. I don't really remember that much, but I remember moving around, just flicking my jab. And I've always got a bad habit of dropping my right hand. And obviously with the moment, the occasion, I'm flicking around, I'm moving around all right. And then, I didn't really know what had happened until I watched the replay. And then I watched the replay, and then he sort of just slipped and then jumped in with his famous left hook. And boom, he just caught me on somewhere on my head. And then I just wobbled, and then my memory had bloody gone. And then he jumped on me. Obviously, he jumped on me. He jumped on me, and he's a good finisher. And then he dropped me, got back up. And then ding, 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 saved by the bell, went to the corner, come back out, he just jumped on me again and just bloody finished me off, So it was just like...
Yeah, so how long do you get for the break? Was it a minute? A minute, yeah. So do you remember much about that, about coming back out in the second round, or were you in sort of la-la land?
No, I don't remember anything. And there's a lot of fights, so I don't really remember what sort of, cause in the moment, what's happening. But I know exactly what the fight plan is and stuff like that. And just, like I've been hit, throughout my career, but sometimes there's one punch that bloody gets you and you don't really know, and and I've done it to many other people, and I finally had it done to me. It's not a good feeling, especially with the hype that was built up and all that sort of stuff, and it is what it is, man. This is the sport, this is boxing. We're not playing marbles. This is a serious business,
But at that point where you get hit, are you thinking, oh shit, I'm in trouble now, or are you away with it and you're? I don't really know. Like, it's more of a survive.
But I'm not really thinking it. But I'll tell you this now: I wasn't thinking about what I need to do.
Yeah.
So it was quite a grey area where I just, like I say, I didn't know what I did till I watched the replay. I think, that's all I did. Just put my bloody hands up. What I should have done was moved, but I wasn't thinking clearly enough. Give me 5 minutes, mate. Hey, Dave, just stop punching. Dave, stop punching. Just give me 5 minutes to clear my head, and then I'll come back to you. Doesn't work like that.
And so when you get hit with a big punch like that, does it hurt, or does
no, it doesn't. No,
I'm asking from the perspective of someone that's never been hit.
Oh, yeah, and I get asked that quite a lot. Like if I grabbed your hand and pinched it, that hurts more than getting punched.
Right.
Yeah, by Tyson or Tua or whatever. It's just more of a shock. It's like a thud, boom. But yeah, it's not like, that hurts, don't hit me again. It's more of a, I don't want to get hit with that again. That was a pretty good punch, So you still get your wits about you, but like pinching someone's arm, that's more annoying than getting slammed in the bloody head or the body.
Yeah. Have you ever watched a replay of the fight or no?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Is it hard to watch?
Yeah. It took me probably 7 or 8 years to. Obviously, I seen the replay when it first happened, because it was on the news and it was bloody everywhere. I was going, that's what I did. But I was just still things. Yeah.
Do you like so when you watch it? Do you watch it from the perspective of, oh damn, I should have done that, or I could have done that, or is it deeper than that?
Yeah, it's deeper than that. It's just like, I just don't watch it. Yeah, I just don't watch it. Yeah, if you go to YouTube, it's bloody always everywhere. So.
Because that's the second round where it looks like it gets you with maybe 15 or 20 punches.
Yeah.
You're just not defending yourself or anything.
Nah.
It's hard to watch, and I'm not you.
Yeah. It is. It's it's the bloody brutal.
What do you mean it took? Yeah, it is. It's the most brutal thing ever. It's awful. But so. What do you mean it took 7 years to get over it? What do you mean? Because your career carried on.
It does. 100%. Yeah, I keep coming back. But just probably mentally, just, I don't know, just hindered me. Like, I think about it every day. Just thinking, like, man, I just so gutted that I lost. I was just so gutted that I lost, because it's a big fight for New Zealand. And I even asked David, like, when we're spending some time together, and I just said, man, what's the most fight? What's the biggest fight? Because he's fought Lennox Lewis, man, and I believe Lennox Lewis is probably one of the greatest fighters on this planet, but
you talking about the Tua Lennox Lewis fight?
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about Lennox Lewis as a fighter. As a fighter, he's and I was talking to David. I said, man, you've had some big fights, which he has. He's had some enormous fights, And I said, what's been the most fight the fight that you've been psychologically has got you, that's really amped you up. He goes, fighting you, And I just think about, I didn't even think of that when I sort of asked the question. And I think, man, because he goes, man, I couldn't lose to you. If I'd have lost you, man. So that was just such the hype, and I didn't think about any of that sort of stuff. It was more like, man, I'm just training, I'm just going to beat you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I didn't think about all the stuff that, hey, if I lost, man, what will happen? But I suppose, I
suppose you just can't entertain the thought of losing.
No, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I mean. So I didn't entertain it because I didn't think I'd lose, because I just knew, and I've had, 34 professional fights, and there's not once I've gone into a ring thinking I was going to lose. Not once. So boxing is all about psychological side, It doesn't matter how big your muscles are, your arms are, any of that sort of stuff. What's your head saying to you? When you walk into the ring, how confident are you in this fight,
And so what happens after that fight? Did you go back to your dressing room, or you taken away to hospital for an evaluation?
I went to hospital. I don't know. It wasn't a good. It was a good night. Yeah, it was a bit of a glaze for a few days, to be honest. I can't remember. It just went away. Yeah, I just went away, but then I just got back into it. My mentality just wanted to claw my way back. I went from rank number 6 heavyweight in the world to probably number 200 in the world. Just how the sport goes. And then I fought. I don't know how long later I fought John Hopewadi. My ultimate goal was to fight for a world title. When I started boxing at the age of 20.
So you were the same sort of age as Joseph Parker now. How do you think you'd get on against someone like him? Do you feel like you're in the same league at your prime and his prime, or better than
styles.
that?
Different styles. But he's. I reckon he would just get better, especially with the connection with him with Tyson Fury and being amongst the best heavyweights. David Tua being in there too. They're just going to grow. It would have been a good scrap, him and I, and both in our heyday, but it's not to be. But hey, that's it, man. I just support him, and that's all we do.
Do you think did you leave the sport at the right time? I mean, we've talked about your business stuff, and you're like, you're very, very smart. Like, there's a lot going on. So it doesn't, you see some boxers and you go, oh, they took one hit too many. I don't feel like you're in that sort of position.
Yeah. Oh, some days I think that when I'm trying to remember something. Oh, so what's that thing? What's that called? Oh, darling, what's your name again? No, it's just I was content with retiring because I had the gym, so I had stuff to sometimes I get thinking, man, I wish I could. No, I wouldn't say I wish I could get back into boxing, but it was more like you need that drive, you need that hunger, you need that determination, you need to do whatever it takes to get to training, do it. So I don't have that no more. I have that in business, but I don't have that in boxing. Like, and I know I could, like, a couple of years ago, I could have trained my ass off and fought, like, what's his name, Paul Gallen or something like that,
right.
And got a big payday, and I can still do that now, but, like, I'm just not driven to. I'm not driven to, not for the money, not for the, I know what it's like, and I'm just not, I just don't have the drive for it. You need the drive, the hunger, the determination to do whatever it takes. So when you're in that ring, you do whatever it takes to win. You die in the ring if you have to. You just get the win,
Yeah.
So I don't have that no more.
And you mentioned before that you did some sparring with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
When was that? What was the story?
That was, if we're talking years, that was in 2005.
Right.
Yeah, I went over there, Phoenix, Arizona. That was on my connection. Yeah, so I was there for 3 weeks. That was an eye opener. That was the man, and Tyson. He's actually a really nice guy. Nice guy. Yeah. Just really, but I can see he's one of those guys who either like you or he doesn't like you. So he sparred most days and very ferocious. He's got that high pitched voice. Hey
Shane.
How doing, Shane? You all right, man? I better not swear. Yeah, all he does is swear.
Oh, mate, it's a podcast. You can say what you want.
Yeah, crazy motherfucker, man. I didn't realize they breed crazy white guys like you down in New Zealand. You're crazy. But I remember we were sparring. Yeah, and then we're going, and like sparring's really heated, like.
So when you say sparring, it's not like gentle punching.
No.
You're going 80%, 90%, 100%.
Like 100%.
Right.
Yeah, like he's trying to knock me out. He's probably thinking, who's this white kid, man, coming down from New Zealand, want to try and spar me.
Right.
Probably the mentality I have when I spar anyone. Who do you think you are? So you come across the ring, man, he's just trying to take my head off, and then the next day, he hit me in the groin area, so he's throwing some heavy shots and hit me in the groin area. I said, hey, Mike, watch the low shots. He goes, sorry, Shane. I'm thinking, oh, my God, how did the baddest man on the planet go, sorry, Shane. Well, but he's, shit, man. He's a trooper, all right? He's the man.
What a claim to fame, being punched in the dick by Mike Tyson. How good is that?
Oh, yeah.
So when did you decide to retire? When did you decide that's it, I've had enough?
So my last fight, I had a fight where there's no way I should have lost, but I lost. I got lost by a guy that I shouldn't have lost to, but he got me on that night. I'm thinking, man, there's no way, But so I'd have lost 2 fights in a row, and I hadn't lost 2 fights in a row as a pro. So it was coming up to my 3rd fight. So I said, publicly that if I lose this fight, I'll retire. And it was instead of picking an easy fight, I picked a really hard fight. A former title challenger, and I knew the guy, big bugger. But I in my head, I knew I'd beat him. But he beat me on points, and I think, I suppose I've got to retire now. So that's how it went. I'm retiring because I don't want to go. That guy that says he's retired then doesn't retire, So, but I think the timing's right.
It's strange though, because it's like in terms of professional sports people, so you get rugby players and someone will come up and be better than them and they'll be knocked aside, or they'll be injured and they can no longer play. But boxing, it's a different sort of thing. Like you're sort of in charge of yourself, and I suppose for a lot of people, it's the fear of the unknown about what comes next that keeps you there.
Yes.
But did you have like a plan in mind? Are you like, I'm going to set up a gym, I'm going to...
Yeah, the gym was already going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had the gym already going. So if you think about like fully focusing on your career and no distractions, I had all of that. I had all the distractions. I just got married and a young boy and had the gym. So I'm running the gym, I'm running classes, And hey, man, Shane, you're a professional fighter, you know. And then when you think about the things that I generated and achieved in my earlier days, it's because I was fully focused.
Yeah.
I didn't lose anything. I was just win, because I had no distractions. It's when you start bringing in distractions, and you know, which I had distractions, which could be good distractions or bad distractions. There were distractions because it takes you off track to where you're fully focusing on, which is to win your next fight. So but hindsight, there's hindsight, eh? You know, then you can look back and now I understand, you know, how things work, you know, and then those things, and in boxing you learn the hard way.
Well, everything works out for a reason in life, doesn't it? And everything happens for a reason, and it seems like you're in a good place now.
Thank you.
Now, what about see, I'm guessing most people listening to this, like the worst fear would be like getting in a boxing ring, and just that loneliness, and the fear of like being hit or being humiliated or whatever. But I'm guessing for you, like you were probably more petrified doing like Dancing with the Stars. When was that? You did that the same year as my ex-wife JJ, right?
Oh yeah,
you were on that series.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. We're around the same time.
Yeah, I asked her about that on the way here. I said, did you have much to do with Shane? And she said, no, Shane and Nera had just sort of kept themselves a little bit, and But so you get asked to do it. Do you say no straight away, or do you say yes straight away?
I actually asked my wife at the time. I said, "What do you think about Dancing with the Stars?" She goes, "Yeah, give it a go." Oh, yeah, cool. So I love a challenge in life, you know. And I can't dance. I couldn't dance I couldn't dance before, and I still don't dance afterwards. But whatever I do, I put everything into it. Like I said, so I was training with Nera. Like I'd come here in the morning, I'd train a couple of people, and I'd be with her by 9 o'clock, and then I'd leave her place at 4. And then I'll come here, and then, but like, it was a challenge, but I loved it, but I'd never do it again. Yeah, but in terms of the psychological side of things, boxing gave me, because I think about people have said, like, is it harder going out for Dancing with the Stars or harder going out for a fight? I go, no, I've got to put boxing in front of that because
100% every day.
Yeah. But I remember like, Jay would agree. It's like you're out backstage and everything is live. Live. You train all week, Monday to Friday. Then you go into the studio Saturday and Sunday for the rehearsal, and then you're live on a Sunday night. So it was daunting, but it was a great chapter in my life.
Did you? Because she's JJ's been in radio for like 30 years, but she still gets people coming up to her now, like 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it was later, talking about Dancing with the Stars.
Right? Yeah.
Did you get that quite a bit? You get like just as many people talking to you about that than the boxing?
Yeah, not so much now. Yeah. It still comes back to the boxing, but like. But around that time, it's interesting because my fan base was not big blokey guys. It was more
like housewives,
13-year-old girls, and sort of housewives and older. Yeah, so I'd go to the Northcote Tavern for beer, and all the old girls would go, "How can I get a photo?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I've never had that before." But to change my fan base there, but it was good. Everything's it's good.
How long did you last? You did okay, didn't you?
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Yeah,
right.
I did 8 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, that's good going. Going. Can I ask you a few quick run questions?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Okay. What do you listen to when you run?
I'm old school, man. Old school music like Seven Spanish Angels, Willie Nelson, Ray Charles. With my girlfriend, she's just like, "Oh, mate, I want to slip my wrist."
Yeah. Please tell me that wasn't your hype music before a fight.
Well, mate, when I come out to Kenny Rogers the Gambler.
Right. Yeah. Were you about to start singing?
Nah.
I feel like you were. Were you about to do a Tyson Fury?
No. He can sing, the boy,
What's your favourite place to run?
Favourite place to run? Just around my block where I live.
Yeah, just around home.
Yeah, just around home, yeah.
Do you have a favourite shoe?
Favourite shoe? I used to love Puma because I should be sponsored by them, but I got to buy my own shoes now. So anything that is available,
just whatever's on sale at Rebels. One thing I like to talk about with guests on this podcast is what I call the 3 Fs, like fails, fuck ups, and flaws. Because I'm a firm believer that you learn more from those things than what you do from your successes in life.
Yes,
as long as you take them in and digest them and learn from them, they can be the best lessons ever.
Yes.
What is it for you? What's the big one in your life? I reckon your biggest flaw is probably being like too driven. Never being satisfied.
And that's what I've been talking about over the last couple of days. Just not being. I wish I was more content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that's, I guess, stands out for every New Zealander that knows you and follows boxing, the Tua fight. That could be seen as a fail. Do you see it that way now? Did you learn a lot from that?
I learned a lot in terms of, like I say, if that fight happened again, I'd certainly conduct myself in a different way, you know.
Like in the lead up to it, you mean? Or during the fight?
In the lead up, you know, it just got too personal, you know, where I don't do that. I never did it before that fight, and I never did it after that fight, you know, and all of a sudden I did it in that fight, you know, so...
it's hard. It seems like it's such an important part of the game now, but it's just it doesn't necessarily sit well with New Zealanders. I see Joseph Parker do it sometimes, and you can tell he's been asked to do it to support the fight, but it doesn't necessarily sit naturally.
No, it doesn't. Like, I'm confident within my thing, but I don't have to voice it. You know, I don't have to voice it, you know, because I just do it without, you know, actions speak louder than words, you know. So, but you know, bloody bugger, David, he got me over that one. That's one thing I don't think. If there's one fight that I'd get up for, would be him. But he's a good man, and much love to the man.
Well, it's good that you got that relationship now. Like you mentioned before that you guys have sat down and had some tequila. What was the circumstance of that?
Oh, it was 7 years later. I got that 7 year thing. I was like, man, I need to connect with David. You know, just like, man, like for whatever it was. So come around for dinner, my place, and we, you know, just yarned. It was awesome. You know, so sometimes if I'm in his area, I'll call in, and he's bought some counterpunch gear off me before too, boxing gear. So no, he's a good man. He's a genuine man. There's no faking with him. There's no bullshit. Like he's just genuine, just a genuine good bugger. Yeah.
That's so nice. Yeah, and he's had some, like, it's funny, you look at, you know, both your careers post-boxing, like, he's had some terrible luck in terms of, like, management and being ripped off. Yeah. And he must look at you and think, shit, Shane's done good. He's very positive. Like, he does say, Shane, you've done well, and it's very nice to hear that. And, I do feel from, you know, for the man and what he's done. You know, the things he's done, the guys that he's beaten, oh my God, you know, like, he's probably the only guy that I know that shouldn't, you know, should have been a world champion over and over again, but just, you know, and the things he had to go through, you know, all that financial stuff and you know, lawyers and all that sort of stuff, with the battles of, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But that seems to happen a lot in boxing. It seems like there's a lot of, like, shady sharks around.
Yeah.
But you got through unscathed.
You've
done so well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I had a good team, you know, a good manager, Ken Rainsfield. You know, one thing I trusted the man, and we're still really good friends now. I didn't have a big team, you know, just him. And
what about like plans for like the next? Are you much of like a goal setter or a planner? Like where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah.
Do you sort of go with the flow, or?
Yeah, I need to work on my goals. Not work on my goals, but like, but I suppose it comes down to that content thing. You know, I get to a goal and I achieve a goal, but I'm still not happy. But probably just make another one. Yeah. My goal is not to be in Auckland in 5 years. Yeah.
Where would you like to be?
Tauranga. Really? Tauranga, yeah. Well, I'm from Gisborne, you know, so I want to be closer to my mum and dad. My son lives there, so I want to be close to him. And I guess I said to you earlier, I launched my Counterpunch fitness training app. So I really want to focus on that and focus on Counterpunch. Those are the two things I really want to focus on. And just want to, I don't want
lifestyle.
Bit of lifestyle. Don't want to keep grinding every day like I have done. I just bought a bike the other day, a motorbike, dirt bikes, just so I can, because I just work every day. Otherwise, I just work every day. You know, I just want to have a time on a weekend and just do my own thing.
And if you lived in Tauranga, you could become the Mount Warrior.
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah, shit, yeah. Making a comeback. Making a comeback.
Yeah. Hey, you're a brilliant man. You've done so well. And thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah.